everyone, my name is Anna and welcome to Cactus Caffeine. In this channel, I share with you my passion for growing cactus and other desert plants over a cup of coffee. Growing cactus from seed is easy and so much fun. Patience is the key because cactus seedlings are not the fastest growers. Yet, many like to grow them from seed as this is an inexpensive way to expand a collection. Sometimes there are some species of cactus which are difficult or expensive to source in certain locations. So, the more economical and sometimes the only way is probably to get the seeds and grow them yourself. There are several different ways on how you can grow cactus from seeds. In this video, I will show the method of growing cactus seeds in a bag. When done correctly, I find that this method also requires the least amount of time in caring for them. You can use small plastic pots or any recycled containers as long as they are clean and preferably sterilized with an alcohol. The important thing is that they have drainage holes at the bottom. While the seedlings prefer to be on moist soil, they do not want their roots to be sitting in stagnant water. For the plastic bags, I prefer to use the thicker ones like resealable freezer bags. The purpose of the bag is to hold moisture, and as I will discuss in more detail later, it has to retain moisture inside the bag for at least 4 months. Thin bags like sandwich bags tend to make the water evaporate fast despite it being sealed, especially if you live in a low humidity environment. There is no one right soil mix for growing cactus seeds. You may use any potting medium available to you as long as it can hold moisture without being too compact at the same time. We will be sterilizing the soil in the microwave oven. Moisten your soil a little as the steam will help in sterilization and it will prevent your soil from burning. After microwaving, the soil will be extremely hot. Refrain from touching it as it can burn your fingers. Cover the soil to prevent contamination and let it cool down. While waiting, write down the name of the seeds and the date that you sow them on the bag and on the labels. Transfer the soil in pots. Soak the soil very well with clean water. Sprinkle the seeds as evenly as you can on top of the soil. For a 2.5-inch pot like this, I sprinkle around 20 seeds per pot. Small seeds may simply be sprinkled on top of the soil. Bigger seeds can be pressed down lightly or you may sprinkle a very thin layer of sand on top to increase the contact of the seeds with the soil. Do not bury the seeds too deep, as cactus seeds have little stored energy to make their way out of the soil. Place your labels. Spray clean water on top to moisten the seeds. Then seal your pot in a bag. Seal the bag with just enough air to keep the bag from touching your seedlings as they grow. Place the bags with the planted seeds in a warm area that gets bright shade. Do not expose the bags to direct sunlight. The seedlings will be very sensitive to light at first. Refrain from opening the bags for at least 4 months, unless extremely necessary. Keeping them inside a bag will provide the necessary level of humidity and heat that seeds require in order to germinate. It will also help maintain a sterile growing environment. Most cactus seeds will start germinating between 1 to 2 weeks. Bigger seeds with hard outer shell coverings may take several months before they germinate. I find that seeds germinate faster when the temperature is between 75 degrees Fahrenheit to 85 degrees Fahrenheit or 24 degrees Celsius to 30 degrees Celsius. While it is more convenient to sow seeds during spring and summer, you may sow cactus seeds any time of the year if you are able to provide the ideal temperature and provide enough light. You may grow them indoors in a heated room under a grow light. As your seedlings grow and start developing baby spines, you may slowly move them to brighter light, but never expose them to direct sunlight even for a few hours, as the seedlings are sensitive and will easily burn. Observe the seedlings. If they are turning pink or red, this is a sign that they are getting too much light. If the seedlings are growing tall and thin, this might be an indication that they need more light. Condensation should always be present inside the bag, as this is an indication that your soil is still moist and that your temperature is right. If you find that the soil in the seedlings are drying up, make a small opening, spray clean water inside the bag, then seal the bag once again. When you see white, cottony, or web-like substance on top of the soil, it is probably mold, which is a type of fungus. While most white molds on soil is harmless to established plants, they can grow and spread quickly on top of tiny cactus seedlings, eventually killing them. When mold is minimal, first thing that I do is to give my seedlings a little more exposure to filtered sun. Fungi thrive on cooler temperatures and low light conditions. The added heat and UV rays of the sun is sometimes enough to control the spread of the mold. If mere sun exposure does not do the trick and mold continues to spread, take the pot out of the bag, gently scrape some of the mold off, and lightly sprinkle cinnamon powder on top of the soil. Alternatively, you may also spray it lightly with a solution of 40% hydrogen peroxide and 60% water. Both are effective in controlling fungus. Reseal the bag immediately after. You may need to do this again after a few days until you see that the mold is under control. Moss on your soil is more unsightly than harmful to your seedlings. It is just an indication that you may be having too much light over your seedlings. Moss will only be a problem if they start growing over your seedlings, preventing them access to light. You may gently scrape the moss on top of your soil and try lowering its light exposure. After a period of at least 4 months, you may gradually open the bag a couple of inches each day. This gives your seedlings time to slowly adjust to a less humid environment. until such time that they can be completely removed from the bags. Once out of the bags, you must keep the soil damp. Cactus seedlings need sufficient water in order to grow. This is also the time when I start giving them fertilizer formulated for cactus and succulents. Fertilizing once a month is sufficient. As they mature, you can slowly decrease the amount of water that you give them until such time that they can tolerate a short period of dryness. At this point, you may start seeing those pesky little insects that hover over your seedlings. Those are fungus gnats, and they are attracted to the moist soil. While adult flying fungus gnats are harmless to your seedlings, they can however lay eggs on your soil. When these eggs hatch, the larvae can eat the delicate roots of your seedlings. To eradicate the larvae, I find a product called mosquito bits to be highly effective. I just sprinkle a few granules on top of the soil and they will kill the larvae of the fungus gnats. The adult flying fungus gnats can be controlled by simply attaching a bright yellow sticky trap. A small bowl of apple cider vinegar also attracts and drowns the flying gnats. Sprinkling cinnamon powder on your soil or by simply having a top dressing on your soil can help deter fungus gnats. Your seedlings are ready to be transplanted when they no longer have enough space to grow in your pot, or when they are starting to look like a mini version of the adult cactus. Do not be surprised if they grow at different rates. That is perfectly normal. Depending on the size of the seedlings that you are working with, you may pot them individually or do several community pots. When repotting, you may now use your choice of cactus and succulent soil. Just ensure that it is a very well draining mix. Young seedlings will still need more frequent watering than a matured cactus plant, but as they grow, they should be able to withstand short periods of drying out in between watering. Avoid exposing them to full sun. Early morning sun or filtered sun is still best for them. In conclusion, I would like to stress that there is no one right way to grow cactus from seed. Cactus seeds will germinate if you can provide them a moist growing medium, the right amount of heat, light, and humidity. Whatever method you choose, take into consideration your growing environment, the resources available to you, and most especially the time and effort that you are able to provide in taking care of them. I hope this video gives you some inspiration to try growing cactus from seed. It may seem challenging, but it is also very rewarding, especially when you see the cactus that you grew from seed flower for the very first time. Happy growing, everyone, and cheers!